What is up there, SEO pros? Today what we're doing is not on page basics. This is the thumbnail that will not change for some reason. We are actually doing an audit for a local insurance agency. And what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what we can do to improve their current rankings, and then also hopefully grab some new rankings and figure out if there's anything we need to improve upon in terms of basic, on-page, off-page, citations, NAPW, consistency, and all that good stuff. So first thing that we want to do is we want to grab the URL and we want to bring it over to Screaming Frog. So let me just go over to it first. So Candine Insurance. Let's see, there it is. So we're going to grab that and we're going to just go bring it into Screaming Frog like we always do. So boom, just press start and there it goes. So as usual, first things we want to look at is the on page for the home page. So let's just go over to Google Chrome where we have our Moz bar. And for some reason, I don't think I'm already in Google Chrome, am I? If so, I don't see my plugins. This is the problem with switching to a Mac, is I'm not used to all the weird things going on here. Alternatively, we can also look at the on page from not Mozbar, but also from something like SEO Centro. So I think we'll just do that. So we'll go to SEO, or we'll check out. We'll use a different tool. We'll use SEO Site Checkup. Now this tool you can use once a day before you have to pay for the pro version, which I think is like $20 a month. But I like to switch it up. Sometimes I use SEO Centro because it's free. Sometimes I use this one. There's tons of other checkers out there as well. So you can see the meta title of your page has a length of 62 characters. Most search engines will truncate meta titles to 70 characters. And we got CNI Insurance, Inc., Business, and Auto Insurance, Arvada, Colorado, I believe. So let me go also open up our text editor. So it's good to have the keywords to the very left. You can put the brand name first if you want. I usually like for local to put the main keywords first. So I'm going to say for the homepage, should put main keywords. We should put the main keywords to the left of the title tag. Also, the length on that looks fine. We got insurance, business, auto as our top keywords mentioned. We got keywords in the title tag, keywords in the meta description. This is the keyword cloud, which is always interesting to look at. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that right now. These are the related keywords, the competitor domains, which is really cool because this just started showing this. So it's cool to look at this kind of stuff. And we're going to pick this up through Whitespark anyways. So we got no H1 on the homepage. So need to add H1 to homepage, can replicate title tag. Contains too many H2s, so we probably want to pull some of those out, switch those to H3s. Switch some of the H2s to H3s or H4s, etc. We got a robots.txt file. Let's go check that out. So we got disallow WP admin, allow WP admin, so that's fine. And then we got sitemaps, which is great. Let's make sure that the sitemaps are submitted, and we are using Yoast. So let's just go into crawl sitemaps. And we don't have a sitemap yet, so we want to submit that. I'll just do that now. So we're going to go into, let me get out of there, by me. Oh, I don't have full access, so I'm actually going to have to ask them. Need to submit sitemap to Search Console. Hold on, let me take this jacket off, guys. It's actually very toasty in here. I didn't think it would be. Janset says, hi Chase, thanks for sharing. Do microsites have an impact on primary websites SEO? Are you talking about like subdomains? If so, Google kind of recognizes subdomains as separate entities in a way. So I would try not to use subdomains as something to try to rank your main domains. If that's what you're asking. Okay, so next thing, we got 25 links on the page. Some of them are broken, so we want to fix the broken links. And we're going to pick up a lot of these in Screaming Frog too. We got links that are SEO friendly, which is great. So we're not using like PHP and stuff. So images are missing alt tags. We're using inline CSS, which that happens all the time, so we don't have to worry about that as much. We got one backlink from one referring domain, which we probably have more than that. We're going to check that out probably on Ahrefs. The loading time is 3 seconds. We want to double check on this too, so let's just plug them into something like GT metrics and then cross check that with something like PageSpeed Insights. So we'll grab that URL. Also, this call to action is a little bit you can't really see it, so let's change the CTA on homepage to be a little bit more noticeable, because you can almost get away without even seeing that right there. Go like that, go like that. And I like to cross-check with not just page speed tools, but SEO tools and tons of other tools. So it's always important to cross-check your stuff, because one tool might show one thing while the other one doesn't. Also, we're going to plug them into Ahrefs. We're going to plug them into Whitespark. And then we're also going to plug them into Moz Local. And all of these tools do different things. Whitespark's going to look at the citations, Ahrefs is going to look at the links, and Moz Local is going to look at the NAPW consistency. So let's go back to the name. It's C&I Insurance. And let's get the zip code. So hopefully the NAP is in the footer or somewhere on the site as well. We got the map. And then we got it in the footer, which is great. So 80002. 80002. So while that's going, we're going to go into Whitespark and log in. Now, if you want to use stuff like Whitespark, it's not too expensive. I pay, I think, $20 a month for the citation finder. Oops. What was the... Oh, sorry, I didn't put the .com. All right, go into here. We're going to go into, I think it's the United States, right? What was it, Colorado? Yeah. So we'll go back into here. Oops. Type in our location, which is, where was the exact place? It was Arvada. There it is. And then our key phrase, it could be insurance agency, it could be insurance agents, it could be, you know, a number of things, but I'm pretty sure if we look at the category, we'll know what it is. So it says insurance agency, so that's where we're going to put the keywords as. And then we're going to press search. So that's going to load, takes a second. While that's taking a second, we're going to go into Ahrefs, sign in. And then we're just going to plug them right into here. So we got a UR rating of 4, a domain rating of 12. Looks like we only have a few links. So we only got like 3 or 10. Most of them are do follow, which is great. So yeah, this is something that we probably want to spend a little bit of time doing some competitor research on. So I'm just going to put that in there. So after building out citations, we will want to spend some time doing competitive link building. Let's go into citations now. So you can see there's 318 total citations found. And these are the different citation numbers that these other agencies have. It doesn't look like we're actually being listed in here yet, but you can see that all of them have around, looks like about 80 citations. So we definitely want to make sure that we're building out our citations. So grab citations from Citation Builder Pro. I would say about $70 worth of citations. Next thing, let's look at Moz. So there it is. We also want to set up, set up rank tracking and conversion tracking, online and offline, especially since it's a local business. The NAPW consistency is not bad on Moz, but we probably just want to go in there and manually push. So manually push changes to help Moz local NAPW consistency. All right. So we're going to cancel out of this one. We're going to cancel out of here. Actually, let's just check out the organic keywords really quick. So it looks like we are going up for some things like auto insurance, car insurance. So one of the things that we do want to make sure that is happening is if we are trying to rank for this, this is the home page and not a subpage. So we want to look for what keywords certain pages should be ranking for, and build content accordingly. For instance, do we want the home page going for, and just put that in quotes, or a subpage, question mark. If they do want the subpage or the homepage ranking for this, then we would want to continue to do the SEO for that. So we'll actually keep those organic keywords open for a second. And then we could also export all of these keywords and start rank tracking, but we're not going to do that right now. So the page speed insights, we want to probably do some smushing of the images. So want to start smushing images, or sorry, compressing images for faster load times. And I don't see anything wrong with the server speed so far. So that looks good. Next thing, we're going to look at some of the other stuff, like the JS and the CSS aren't minified. We don't have to worry about that too much. It looks like something weird's going on with this mobile site. I don't know if this is happening. I'm going to pull up it on my phone and see if I can get into it as well. It might just be that it's blocking any SEO checkers. So you can't see this, but I'm going on my phone right now. C&I insurance, just because I want to make sure that this is good. Okay, I found it. I'm going to go to website, and it looks okay. Cool. All right, so I mean, we don't have to worry about that too much. Disallow DNS is not using an SPF record. It's kind of odd. Okay. So next thing we're going to look at is the Google My Business optimizations, and we're going to go into here. Let me just type in. Let me grab this, grab this, and we're going to go to Google Plus. So Google Plus, and we'll go into there. Whoops, that's Wikipedia, gosh darn it. Google Plus doesn't even rank for Google Plus. That's ridiculous. There we go. All right, we're gonna plug that into here. There it is. We're going to click on this. And we're going to click on the images and see how many images we have. So it doesn't look like too many. And we also have no reviews. Let's see if we can look at the about. So we don't really have much here. So we want to spend some time optimizing the Google My Business location. Start optimizing Google My Business location with images and reviews. Start generating 2 to 3 reviews a day on Google Plus with Plepper link. I'm going to go ahead and pull that Plepper link right now, by the way. So we're just going to go over to Plepper. Go into here. Tools, Google review link generator. And then we're going to start typing in the name, C&I Insurance. Let's see if it comes up. There it is. Boom. Generate the awesome link. And there it is. We're also going to want to make sure that we're optimized on other profiles. So we would just use Moz for that, but consider, or I would say do Yelp optimizations similarly, at least with images, maybe not reviews, but at least with images. Some of the other stuff we want to look at is the on-page silos and whatever is on the actual website in terms of the content. So it looks like we got the about. One of the things with the about is we want to make sure it's filled out well. Looks like it's filled out decently, but no link silos. So we need to work on the internal link structure. And then we'll check out the actual, need to work on the topical seeding. Some of the other stuff we want to also look at is the schema markup and the OG data. So we're going to type in structured data testing tool. And the Facebook Facebook debugger. Let's Watch Now says, woo, killing it with all these videos lately. Thanks, man. Isolated said, how much are these audits? I charge $200 for them live. Unless you buy them in bulk, then I charge less. George says, have you switched to Mac full-time now? This is my new laptop. My desktop's a PC, but I haven't taken it out of storage yet since I moved to Costa Rica. Matt said, will this be, or I traveled to Costa Rica. Matt says, will this be available after live? Yes, it will. And by the way, we got 13 people watching. If you guys could leave a like on this video, that would really help me out. And if you feel so kind, you could also share it on social media. It'll also help this video rank higher. All right, so we're going to plug this into the debugger tool and then into the structured data testing tool. So you can see we have organization markup, which is incorrect because we were a local business trying to rank. So want to change organization markup to local business markup. And there's actually an agency markup as well, I believe. And then the website markup's fine. One of the other things we want to check is the actual blog posts that are showing up that have structured data. So we'll go into one of these, grab that. And it looks great that they're doing these posts about the areas that they're in, but we really want to make sure that there's social sharing enabled and then also internal linking. So need to add SumoMe social share buttons on blog posts and share posts after creation. Also, if we're not set up on all main social platforms, we need to do that and list them in footer. Let's see if we have any of the social profiles in the footer. Doesn't look like it. So we're going to grab this post, like I said, go to structured data, go to new test, go like this, boom. And the Facebook data, OG data is not showing up correctly either, so we want to fix that. Looks like it's okay on the blog post, but not on some of the main pages. Need to fix OG data on main pages. And then the organization markup is actually showing up on every page, and there's no blog or article markup. So we want to make sure we change that for the blog post. Remove organization markup. Organization. What the heck? Am I spelling organization wrong? Markup from every page and add blog markup to blog posts. The other thing is that if you're doing blog posts, you usually want to do related posts, or recent posts to pass link value. Add recent or related posts to sidebar on blog. The next thing is we usually want to have like a reviews page, so we can add that in there, and then also some sort of privacy policy in the other main pages. Add main pages to site, like reviews, privacy policy, etc. So if we go to insurance, we can find all the different products. So if we go into here, and this generally should have the levels down from the main tab, but it doesn't look like they're doing that, so I guess it's whatever. I don't really want to change it after how it's already been. So workers' compensation insurance in Denver, Colorado, homeowners, and oops, let's see. Trying to click into here so I can see it. It just showed up and then it went away. Homeowners and renters insurance. So the topical seating is kind of all over the place on these other pages, so we want to fix that. I already made a note of that. And then you can see the internal linking isn't really set up, and then let's see if these are actually heading tags. So those are our actual heading tags. That looks fine. So these are decent. Now I'm just looking at this from a visuals perspective. We're going to look at this from Screaming Frog in a second. But overall, pretty decent. Not too bad. Those are the social profiles right there. And then those are the blog posts. Yeah, and then I'd also try to fix this weird spacing in the footer. Okay, so some of the pages probably need to have basic keyword research done as well for what the internal link styles are going to look like, but we can look at that later. Let's go into the Screaming Frog results. Check out the live, see if you guys are saying anything. George says, do you set up if this then that for all the social sites? No, I usually use something like Buffer. All right, so we're gonna filter only by HTML, and then in here we can see all the different things. We're missing title tags on certain pages. Some of the pages look like they're not very unique. So let's go and make that note of that. Add titles to pages missing them. Found through Screaming Frog. I'm going to say export available if needed. And we're not going to just say titles because there's going to be a lot more showing up. Let's just quickly make sure that that's true. And what I mean by that is like not just the titles are going to be missing, but there's probably going to be some missing heading tags, meta descriptions, as you can see right there, right here, and then also the heading tags. Let's see, right there, a lot of missing heading tags. So we're just going to put all of that in at once. Go into here, add titles to pages missing them. So titles, metas, alt tags, because we saw some missing alt tags, H1s, and internal links, which is a lot of pages. The next thing is like these things like the email protection from Cloudflare. We probably want to make sure that these things are no indexed. Unless this is an actual page. No, that's a no index page, so that's good. I'm getting a call right now. Can't answer that. And then we got some canonicals going on, which is good. So those are the basics. The other thing that we want to look at is kind of what I was explaining to you guys in the Screaming Frog tutorial. Things like the blog /page/to. We want to make sure that that's paginated so we're not showing up with duplicate content. NMR says, is it possible to remove citations you built for a client that refuses to pay? It can happen to a friend, and that's what he did. Seems like that would be hard to do, but I'd pay for that. Yeah, so once the citations are built, it's actually harder. It's harder to remove the citations than it is to build them because you have to figure out what all the logins are and then remove them. And I've never seen a service where people go and remove citations. I only see a service where they build them. So we can see blog /page/to, so we'll view page source. And what we're going to want to look for here is the rel next and rel prev. So we can just type in rel, and you can see there's the rel canonical and then the rel prev. There's no rel next because there's not a next page, but we're good there, so we don't have to worry about that. We're also going to want to look at the site architecture. So we're going to do site : boom. And I look at basic things. I look at the blog. I look at the categories. So we'll type in after the website name category. So these are all the different categories. Now, one of the things that we do want to make sure we get rid of is this uncategorized category. There's no point for this. So let's go into here and say remove uncategorized category. Let's go to one of the other categories. So actually, I think if I type in category, it might show me the different ones. Let's see. No. And then let's see the blog. The blog should list the categories also. Add categories to blog dropdown. And then also the blog should have an overview of the categories that are in the blog or the important posts. So I'm going to say add links to, or add descriptive text to blog and categories to explain what people should know, and also important posts in blog or categories. So let's go back over here since we can't see the categories, and we'll go into something like, let's try general. Now, one of the things we do want to look out for also is whether or not these are using multiple categories. So if we go into here, you can see one's uncategorized, one's business, one's financial. It looks like it's only showing one, but it might be showing up in multiple categories. So I'm not really able to see this right now just from this, but let's see. If we were just to click around, we might be able to see repetitive posts. So let's see. I think these are all just one category per post, which is how you want to do it. But sometimes you'll see people use like multiple categories per post. So that's fine. I don't have to make a note about that. Somebody just texted me. Okay, so we're going to go back to cancel out of Plepper because we don't need that anymore. We're going to go back to Screaming Frog. Oh, no, sorry. We're going here. So categories, really it's just about adding those descriptive text previews. And then also if we're using other things like web archives like this is things that we want to no index because these are thin content pages that aren't providing any value. So no index thin content pages like this. We're going to go back to the search results and then also get rid of authors or individual testimonials. This is something that I see a lot of people get in Panda troubles with by having multiple testimonials indexed. So I'm going to say no index single testimonials and add them all to one page with review markup. Also, we want to no index categories with no posts in them. One second, I have to say in the middle of an audit, can we talk in 30 live on YouTube? All right, so we'll go to 34. And you'll see some of these are capitalized categories and some of them are not. We don't want to use that path. I don't know why that's like that. You'll see some posts are using / capitalized categories and some are using categories. We only want the undercase one. Under lowercase, sorry. So the next thing we're going to look at is if there's an author page being indexed, which usually there is. So I'm going to say no index author pages. And the next thing we want to look at is to see if there's any dates being indexed. Doesn't look like it. So that's okay. Let's go back into Screaming Frog. So that's what we looked at for the URLs, which looks pretty decent. Let's also just look at the overall things being indexed as well. So we'll just do this without anything, see how many pages are being indexed. We got 83, which isn't too bad. It's just the titles are not very descriptive, which I think I already said, but I'm just going to say want to hyper focus. Well, I talked about the topical seeding, which that's pretty much what we're talking about. So that's fine. All right, go back to Screaming Frog. And let's go into, we already looked at the titles a little bit. We want to fix these 301s, so I'm going to say fix 301s. I'm going to say can use broken link checker plugin for this, since they have WordPress. All right. Keep scrolling through. We already talked about the meta descriptions, no meta keywords, which is fine. We talked about the H1s. We talked about the alt tags. We looked at the meta robots and all this other good stuff. So that's pretty much it for the Screaming Frog crawl. Everything else is going to come down to what we're actually doing to build out content, the citations, all that good stuff. So I'm just going to start typing in top 10 roadmap / game plan month 1. And a lot of this stuff I actually talk about in this new post I made. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, if you head over to my website, you can actually see I created a list of things that you can actually start focusing on. So you go to blog, local SEO, and then I just literally yesterday created an article for the top ways to show local SEO progress in the first month. So this correlates to what we're talking about right here. So step number 1, start by setting up conversion tracking. This is always the first thing you want to do. That's a huge header, so I'm just going to say set up conversion tracking, conversion and rank tracking. Like I said before, online and offline. Let's see how you guys are doing, by the way. What are we at right now? We're at like 34 minutes. And MR said, yeah, he said he paid his builder to remove them, LOL. It was not a ton, but enough. That's crazy. The next ones, and these are general because it might be different in this case, but you'll see like the online, offline SEO profiler, start optimizing the NAPW consistency. Of course, we're going to want to do that here as well. Start manually optimizing from data seen in Moz Local. So NAPW. So number 3 is, let's check out what we also got here. Build out citations. That's going to be huge here. Build out citations with Citation Builder Pro. The next one's going to probably be generating reviews, which, yes, it is. Start generating 3 reviews a day. I'm actually going to put one in here too. We want to do Google My Business optimizations. Google My Business optimizations and Yelp. Google My Business and Yelp optimizations. Could also do Facebook and Yellow Pages. Not as critical. Create the service and product pages. So let's just double check on those. So we're going to go into insurance products. Now, I don't know if these are services or products or if it's sort of the same thing. So motorcycle, boat, and RV insurance. Now, one of the things we probably want to do is cross-check this stuff with what the competitors are ranking for. So cross-check local rankings with competitors and see if we can build out pages for services they are also ranking for. So that kind of makes it a little bit easier for us. And one of the things we can do is literally just go into here. We can go and type in what our main keywords are, which are, Arvada. So insurance agency, Arvada. We would go to somebody who's ranking like this, and then we would just plug them into something like Ahrefs or SEMrush. Boom. Go into here, and then we would go to organic keywords, and then you can see some of the keywords they're ranking for. And I can just give them an example. So what we'll do is we'll just export this. We'll go to export. We're going to do Open Office since I didn't download Word yet. George says, I want to start doing SEO for people, so this is month 1 post of things to do is helpful. I'm missing the roadmap of what to do for clients, but I guess it's a matter of finding weak points and fixing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, George, you could also just hire me to do a roadmap for you privately and give you a bunch of stuff to do for them. I'm actually really good at finding things that getting extra work for people just by doing roadmaps for their clients. I'm going to say, here's an example of the top organic competitors' first 15 rankings. So number 7, fix schema markup. That's not huge. I'm going to make that like number 10. So I'm just going to delete that for now, or just put that right there. We're going to go back to here. So get content published. So continue to do the content marketing, except do a little bit better with the internal linking and the on page. Continue to build out content on blog, but work on social, signal optimization, internal linking, and keyword and on-page factors. Also, we can do some other things with it too, but we won't talk about it right now. That might be like month 2. So I'm going to do 8. Add CTAs, so we already got that, but we might want to add CTAs to above the fold for some of the main service pages, but that's probably going to actually not be month 1 on this one. So 8 is going to be fixing the basics, so fixing on-page basics like titles, metas, what was it? Alt tags, etc. Number 9 would, well, we can go back to our list and see, would be to probably fix the broken links or doing the site optimizations. So yeah, so instead of the on-page basics, we're going to say speed and error, speed optimization and fixing broken links / webmaster maintenance. And then I guess number 10 would be schema markup. So that's month 1. Of course, there's tons of other things we want to do, like the competitive link building, that sort of stuff, but I would say that's probably like month 2. I mean, you can do that in month 1 as well, but yeah, that's what I'm going to put for that. Some of the other things we can do is start considering building out stuff, AdWords campaigns. So consider building out AdWords campaigns with location extensions, and leveraging data for organic keyword research. And mainly, this works really well right now because you can actually get listed in the maps with just by using location extensions. And usually the ROIs on that are pretty high, pretty good, and they're pretty good. Also, I would probably do, start doing social automation with a $10 buffer subscription. And then possibly take blog posts and do $5 boosts on them with Facebook to increase social signals. These are all just small things, but definitely something that could be helpful. I'd also start doing content upgrades in the blog posts. And do probably click-through rate optimizations on main service pages. Doing CTR optimizations on main service pages. Can cross-check from Search Console what keywords to include in titles. And I have tutorials for this kind of stuff too as well if you guys don't know what I'm talking about here. Let's see. What are you guys talking about over here? George says, oh, not a bad idea. I'll be learning from you and what you find versus what I find. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's see. Other than that, so we do have the call to actions here. And I think we're using Divi on this site, which is kind of cool. We already looked at the NAPW. We just have the local business markup. Looked at the site speed optimization, and then the homepage we probably want to put actual descriptions for these different things. It looks like maybe we put them here. I would say probably put text under these different, so on homepage, start optimizing for main keywords, as well as putting text previews underneath each service offered. For instance, auto, home, and renters, etc. should have a little bit of descriptive text explaining more. And then, yeah, of course, no link silos in here, no bold and italics. We do have the Google map here, which is cool. So yeah, I think that's probably it for that. We could look at the social and what's going on here, but Probably don't want to spend too much time doing that. There's actually the person who owns this site owns 2 other sites as well that we're going to be doing audits for. They're also insurance websites. So I might be doing another one today. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I think I'm gonna end it now. It is a little soon. I think we're only at like 45 minutes. But overall, I think we found a lot of the main issues that need to be fixed first. Of course, in the future, we'll probably want to start looking at things like conversion rate optimization, A/B testing, UX, user intent. Well, user intent and UX we always want to look at, but a little bit more refined. And then also creating an ongoing content marketing strategy and keyword research around the things that we should really be going for, which we kind of talked about. A lot of the stuff we kind of talked about that might be more long-term is just that you get more data and a little bit better of an idea after you implement the first initial changes on these types of sites. So until I see you guys next time, happy SEOing.